I thought more of myself, maybe I'd think less about you. Someday I'll wake up seeking peace, not approval. It's crucial you want me, my self-worth is frugal. You're paying me dust, you're bleeding me dry. Pessimistically perfect, you're pulling the trigger now. There's blood where the feelings.
Welcome to the Indie Tea Talk podcast. I'm Adam and this is Kay, your host for a journey into indie music across the north. Tune in as we explore unique melodies, chat with talented artists and create a space where you can discover your favourite music like never before. Also, if you're new to Indie Tea Talk, please show your support by hitting that subscribe button. It's a massive help to us and the amazing artists that we support on the show. Our guest today is Aaron Dinning, a rising indie artist who's been turning raw emotion into powerful storytelling, racking up streams and making a serious impact along the way. His music is deeply personal, brutally honest and impossible to ignore. From navigating love and heartbreak to grief and self-discovery, Aaron's songs don't just sound good, they make you feel something too. His latest track, June 16th, is a gut-wrenching reflection on grief becoming his most streamed song yet, proving that when Aaron speaks, people listen. With a brand new EP on its way, things are only getting bigger from here out. So, please join us in welcoming Aaron Dinning to the studio. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good, very good. We've got some nice weather, which is a nice change.
It is.
It's been a bit bleak recently, so we're moving forwards into summer.
We caught some rays earlier, didn't we?
We did, indeed.
We did.
We did. So, you started singing at 17, which you've said felt like a late stage compared to others. What is it that made you want to explore music?
For me, I don't even really know how it came about, to be honest. Like, I was in sixth form and I was studying like the most random subjects ever, like nothing to do with music, was never musical. No one in my family was musical. Like, it was just completely out of the blue. And like at the time, like my mum and dad were getting divorced. And I think I was just like clinging to anything that was like new and niche and would like be a little bit of escapism. So I was like, oh, I'll just like try a little singing lesson once a week, like at sixth form.
Yeah.
And like all my friends were like, this is a phase. They're like, this is not gonna last. They were like, I don't know why he's singing, who's told him to sing, but it's not gonna be a longevity thing. And then, I don't know, just from there, like I couldn't sing, but I was like, the pure delusion that I could was just there.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just like continued and then
Built
somehow
from delusion. I like it.
I'm sorry now. Do you know what I mean? Like, some it worked, but do you know what I mean? But at the time, I just clung to it, I think, and I just think that was the next best thing. Like, I never felt like I ever like excelled at anything in school.
Right.
So I was like, I'll try anything at this point, do you know what I mean? To be good at something.
Music's a great way to escape from things as well, isn't it? So, you know, you can drive yourself into this, it's almost like it's a surreal environment, isn't it? You create in a different world, and I think it sounds like you jumped feet first into it and I've absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And you've come out, you can sing, so I don't know what.
Now,
Yeah.
no,
I'd love to have heard some of the first singing lessons.
You don't, honestly. It was me trying to be Sam Smith at 17. It just wasn't a go at all.
Oh, God. So going from a small town in County Durham to studying at the Leeds Conservatoire, I can never say that word. Is that right? Is that how you
Just
say
say
it?
I go to uni. Just say now you
Yeah.
do
So
music.
now you go uni and stuff.
Yeah.
What was that transition like, moving away, and how did that kind of help you grow as an artist?
I think moving away, it kind of just felt a bit like real now. Like, it wasn't just me in me small town, like with everyone around us thinking, what's he doing? Like, now I'm with these like-minded people who are all so talented. And I was like, just like, feels like little old me. Like, I don't know anything about music. I just sing Sam Smith. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know anything. But I think like coming and just like, I didn't like looking at anything about uni. I was just like, right, I'm just gonna pick 5 random cities, and I nearly ended up in Falmouth, to be honest. And I just think I would have hated that, but I was just like, what's the furthest thing away from Chesterley Street? And I was like, let's make a list. But I don't know, like I just picked Leeds. And then
what drove you to Leeds? Is there any particular reason?
Just because it was like not too far from home, but far enough. I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, oh, Leeds seems nice. I was like, I went to a gig once at First Direct. Why not? Why not?
I
But-
do find the smallest music scene in Leeds quite inspiring, though. You're right in that the level of talent is quite high.
Yeah, definitely.
And as much as I guess it can feel quite daunting, it's a really inspiring city to be in if you are an artist or you play music.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big change though from a small town.
Yeah, like I was not involved in like I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, here I am. But like I say, it was a big change, but all the more worth it in the end. And like
Yeah.
I just think it just the best thing that ever happened. Although like I went straight into it not knowing anything, it just kind of all fell into place in the end.
Yeah. Sometimes the best plans are the ones that just, or the best outcomes are the ones that have been least planned.
Yeah.
So you just jump into it and you go, I don't actually know what I'm expecting to come out with here. So your expectations are not super high or like wild. You just go, I'm just going to see what happens, and it sounds like you've seen what's happened, and you've just really jumped into it and loved it. Like,
Yeah.
And I think Leeds is such a great place for music as well. It's got so many great little venues, and like we were saying, there's so much talented musicians and artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great place to really just explore, and you know, you can bounce off different ideas, and you know, there's so many different little music scenes going on in the overarching thing. It's great to kind of bounce around them and see different things and experience different things and let it shape you as a musician, which, you know, I think you've fully immersed with.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
So you've described your songwriting as a way to process your emotions and experiences. How does a song typically start for you? Is it lyrical, or do you come up with a melody, or is it always different?
For me, it's like all of my songs are very like autobiographical, and like everything that like I write is just always like stems from a place of like my experience.
Yeah.
So generally like something will have had to have happened, to be honest. Then I'm like, right, what's the like, I just need to write about this. And like, I think songwriting's where like me passion really does lie, like over than like being an artist, like or whatever. Like I just feel like songwriting is whatever that even means at this point.
Yeah.
But like I just feel like writing songs was like, especially at like 17, 18, like I just felt like I had all these feelings that like I just didn't understand, and I'd like no one understood them either, and I just felt like I had nowhere to put them.
Yeah, it's
And
just
the-
your outlet for it.
yeah, like the only place I could put them was in a song. And it was like, that sounds so like, you know, Sound of Music. Do you know what I mean? Like it sounds very like, you know, silly.
No,
but
I get what you mean.
I literally had like, I don't understand myself. I don't feel like anything or anyone understands me. So I need to write about this and process it, and hopefully like putting it into that kind of outlet makes, you know, me feel a little bit less alone, really. So it's always lyrical for me. Like something's happened and then I'm like, right.
Just start with the lyrics.
Yeah, I've got to jam it down, and then the music comes after.
It is interesting because obviously meeting you today, I'd only previously heard your music. I'd not heard you speak or had a chat with you, and coming in and how bubbly you are, and you know, you're such a lively person, and it's interesting that your music is quite a contrast to that, in that it's quite raw and real. But I like that when you're like, you can be like, no, I promise, like I am actually happy, but sad songs are just the best.
They actually are. And like
Yeah.
I'm quite like an extroverted introvert in that way. Like I'm dead like, you know, up and up and up now, but I'm like, I'll be crying in bed into 3 hours time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you're like, we've only seen half the story right now. But yeah.
Because you told a story before where because Kitty's songs are always quite on the sad side of things, aren't they? And,
Sad song girlies.
yeah, and people have come up to her after gigs and be like, "Are you all right?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm fine, yeah, great."
Are you? Is everything okay?
It's right at home.
Yeah.
So your debut EP, Complicated Art, delves into the unrequited love and personal stories. Was it a therapeutic experience to put those songs into the world?
Definitely. I think it was quite at the time, like now I don't feel this way, but like at the time it was really anxiety provoking, I think. Like I was writing about all these real people in my life and like from the ages of like 16, 17, 18, 19. And I was like, oh my God, like, these people from my small town are going to hear this music. And I'm like, it's just like, especially when I didn't feel like I was really accepted the most, or like this wasn't exactly like the path most followed. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like I was like the only one kind of try, like, you know, being outwardly gay and like trying to pursue music and stuff, and that just doesn't happen in Chester like at all. So as well, like kind of making it so personal about, you know, like experiences in like at a younger age in while living in Chester, I was like, oh God, like what are people going to think? But now looking back, I feel like it's just a lot of the songs are really about the same thing, just said differently, to be honest. Like, it's just like, you're straight and you don't like me, but that's fine. but pretty much. But at the same time, like, that was my emotional depth at that time. And that was my world of what was going on with me, of like, you know, why does this person not like me? Why can I not, you know, have a relationship?
The overarching theme
the whole time. And I was like, I'm literally like 18, like hold your horses. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really not the end of the world. But
it can feel like it though, can't it? You can get really lost in these sort of, you know, feelings of abandonment, or
that's
you know.
really funny actually, because just before we started recording this, I was speaking about a podcast called Song Exploder that I've started listening to.
All right.
And there's a song called Boyish on that, and the girl who wrote it speaks about it, and she's speaking about a guy she was in a relationship with, and she wrote the song ages ago and then released it like way further down the line, and she was saying that she was like, yeah, I realised that it's actually quite, you know, things got worse after there. She was like, a breakup is not the worst thing in the world. But at the time, she's like speaking like it's the end of the world. And then she said that when they did the final recording of the vocals, she was almost a bit more satirical about it, because she was like, I get that this is not the worst thing that's ever happened to me, because I've been through so much since I wrote this. But it's interesting, isn't it, that you do listen back to songs and you're like, oh, like if I thought that was bad.
I know. Like, perspective makes it feel trivial now. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, right, like that was really what I was down bad about for like all that time. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, now it's like a blip on the radar.
But some beautiful songs came out of it.
Exactly. I was just about to say that, you know, these things that we obsess over and we get ourselves really worked up about, they then get transferred into music, and then we timestamp it and we put it on a shelf, and then we can come back in 2-3 years' time and look at it and go, I were a bloody idiot. But look at this amazing thing that I've created, and it's beautiful. And,
yeah, definitely.
You know. So, it's the time. It's the time we've all been waited for.
Question.
If your music was a flavour of tea, what would it be and why?
Say,
this is my favourite one yet. Can I just say?
I brought a little thing with us. So I felt like I would just be a used tea bag. And I just feel like no specific flavour to mention. Nothing specific.
That is a Yorkshire tea bag, just so that everyone's aware.
It's a Yorkshire one.
Yeah.
It smells like Yorkshire, actually. But I just feel like, you know, she's a bit used.
Yeah.
She still has her uses, but she's been used. And, you know, I just feel like our best days are over.
Oh,
no, don't say that. Absolutely
no,
not.
Yeah, I just feel like a little used tea bag.
You can't say that with your EP coming out. Like,
maybe I'm a fresh tea bag.
Right,
maybe,
okay.
Yeah, maybe I'm a fresh. This was the last EP, and the next one is a fresh tea bag.
Right.
But, you know, Photoshop here.
Yeah.
Fresh tea bag. But yeah, a used tea bag.
A used tea bag. I love it.
I actually think that's my favourite one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's mine too. Honestly, yeah, a used tea bag, and now I'm a bit stained.
A little bit, yeah.
Used.
Well, that's truly amazing. So it's time that we're going to go into your first live session. Do you want to let us know what you're going to be playing for us? And do you want to tell us a little bit about the song?
Yeah. So the first song that I'm going to be singing is a song called June 16th. And that song kind of came from a place of when I first started releasing music, I released a song called I Hope That Things Get Better. And from there, that was written the day after my dad died when I was 18. And, you know, I released that song and everything. And then 3 years later, just thinking about grief in a new way of taking, I hope that things get better, and realising it doesn't get better, it gets different.
Right.
And it's kind of
I absolutely love that line, by the way.
He self-references, honestly.
It's so true. It's so true.
It is though, and it's like,
yeah.
you know, at 8, like no one expects that to happen at 18.
No.
And like the specific angle of this is like, the Father's Day before my dad died, I got him like a card and like a bag of stuff, and I gave him the bag, and I forgot to write anything in the card, and I just gave him the empty card, and he said, give it to me next year, and then he died 2 weeks later. And it was kind of just like the regret of, you know, like feeling like I wasn't being the best son, or like, you know, taking that relationship for granted, you know, because you think your parents are going to live forever, and you know, that's just not the realism of it. But June 16th is just, you know, June 16th is Father's Day, and it's just kind of my wish of, you know, taking that back, and like the card that I didn't write, I still have it, and I still have the card, and it's, you know, I still hold a place for you in my heart and life. And,
that's beautiful.
It is. It's a lovely song,
and it is a beautiful song, and you know, so the story really, or the song really befits the story, should I say? So beautiful. Let's give it a listen.
Remember the van crash into the traffic lights, and suddenly you died 3 months later. I guess we both missed the signs. Come on by, come to my room, ask if I'm okay. I'm probably wrestling with my feelings, been in Italia on 2K. June 16th, beat the shit out of me. When grandma's son held all the glue to the pieces. Dementia's the killer that helps with grieving. To have the hole that's in your heart. 2 years on, now we're not the ones in my childhood home. I'm grieving you slamming your way out the front door. I'm far too young to be past this torch. A son with no dad is like a sun without a moon. I scream at the sky, God, I miss him. It doesn't get better, it gets different. June 16th, beat the shit out of me. When grandma's son held all the glue to the pieces. Dementia's the killer that helps with grieving. To have the hole that's in your heart. To never know the kid you held in your arms. I'm looking for answers in ashes, and the card I didn't write on Father's Day, I still have it. I 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 have
So after Complicated Art, you started working with your producer, Toby. How has that helped to shape your next kind of era of music?
Me and Toby just have like such a great dynamic, honestly. Like,
That's so
he
important.
is so talented. And like, I feel it just really fosters like my creativity as well. And like, knows that like, you know, the songwriting is the most important part for me. And just kind of like nurturing everything around that is what I really appreciate in my music.
You can really tell that from your songs, that the songwriting is like the pinnacle of it all, and then everything else follows. But it's really nice that it you've created such a spotlight on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And like me and Toby have really made something like amazing, like with this EP. And like, I'm just so proud of it, like ridiculously.
That must be so nice to say as well, to know that you're excited and you're proud of it.
Yeah, this feels me. And like, I think with Complicated Art, it was kind of like, you know, I was just going off of like artists that I loved and like, you know, focusing on the songwriting, but like the, you know, the genre direction, the musical direction was just very, you know, things I liked at the time. But this feels like, no, this is like my sound and my voice, and all of the elements feel married together now. Yeah. Before they were, you know, separated a bit, you know.
I think that kind of comes from like just having that experience as well, though. Do you know, being able to, like we were saying, you've come into this like melting pot of music in Leeds, and you've been able to experience so many different things, and you kind of gone, I want a bit of that, I want a bit of that, I'll have a bit of that, and then I'm going to distill it all down into my sound and me. And like you say, you've had that time to do that now, and working with someone like Toby has really helped you to really finalise those things by the sound of it.
And refine it down as well, because you can use everything under the sun. I think everyone's guilty of that once they have the kind of means of a studio and synths and different reverbs and all these different sounds that you can have. It is quite easy to get carried away, but then to refine that is it's a really hard thing to do, but it's also a really special part of it, because then it suddenly sounds like you, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I was going for. Yeah.
Like, I think looking back at like the first song we ever did together, which is the title track of the EP, to like the most recent song we did together, it's like the arc of like that first song then was so me, but this most recent song was so me, but both are completely different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, it's that voice that, you know, I really think I'm proud of. And like with the first EP, there was like, 15 songs fully produced for that. And this one, there was 6. And 5 of them are on the EP. Like, it was so much easier. Like the distilling process of like, no, this is the order, this is the track list, this is what marries with this song. And like, it just was so much more seamless. And like, I knew better, I knew what I wanted. And I could, you know, see the vision.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for everyone else to
well,
see it too.
It stands to reason that you knew what you wanted, because you've literally you've picked 5 of the 6 tracks that you've recorded for it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you went in and you knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly what you wanted to get out of it, because all the rest of it is waste, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's overproducing, it's overdoing it. And you were like, no, I know exactly what I'm doing. This sounds great. This is where I want to be. And so it just shows, doesn't it? It really shows. So your latest single, Look Who's Holding the Gun Now, that kind of takes that more upbeat indie pop approach. So what can you really kind of pull out what inspired you to go down that path? I know we've said like been in this melting pot of different musical styles and meeting all these different musicians is a great help, but do you really know how you've pulled your sound out of it?
I think a lot of it came from like post Complicated Art. I felt quite pressured to like write a happy song, and like especially like my mum, she was like, everything you write is like dreadfully sad. Like, and can you not just write one thing happy? Like, you know, you're not going to get on the radio, like you like all this stuff. Like my mum would just say it was, and I was like, right, it's not going to be happy, but it's going to feel upbeat. Happy. Do you know what I mean? It's going to sound upbeat. And like, I think at the time I was listening to a lot of like Sam Fender and Maisie Peters and Olivia Rodrigo. And like, I just felt like I think as like a gay man as well, all of these inspirations I'm pulling from are from straight people as well. And I think that's what makes it difficult for me sometimes to like wither through that, because I'm still trying to, you know, be authentic to me. And like a key part of my identity is all the things I'm not. Like a key part of my identity is the fact that, you know, I'm not straight. I'm not like anything like these idols that I see and look up to so much. Like I'm me. And
although I guess Sam Fender is quite a good inspiration to take from, because you're right in that a lot of his songs, they cover really dark areas of life, but they're all anthems. And they will get radio plays, and he does headline big stages at festivals and things like that. So that's a really interesting one that you like. It's not going to be happy, but it is going to be upbeat.
100%.
Yeah.
And like in terms of like denoting from that song to Complicated Art, this like thematically kind of fell through a similar vein of like, you know, I had a friend and, you know, we wanted to make things work. Well, I did. And, and you know, he said to me like, I've never ever had to shoot someone down before. Like this has never been me. Like it's always been someone shooting me down. So then I wrote, you're so used to being shot down, look who's holding the gun now. Because, you know, we're both hopeless romantics and trying to, you know, have these relationships with people, and now you're the hopeless romantic that doesn't even like me. So it's kind of like, you know, the worthless of the worth. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like we're both here, but now I'm here. Like, so it kind of came from that. But from the themes of Complicated Art, this was the most similar vein, and this just felt like the polished, realized version of everything I was trying to say in Complicated Art, which I was saying, do you know what I mean? Like I still love those songs, but this is like, no, this is like the pinnacle of like, why don't you love me? So
new album, why don't you love me?
Why don't you love me?
I like that. I like the juxtaposition between the theme and the sound. Do you know what I mean? It kind of, I think they can be even more impactful when you've got like this darker meaning and this happy-go-lucky sort of soundscape around it, and it kind of really drives the meaning in for me. So I think that's great. I think you've done a really good job with that bit.
Thanks.
Can you share any of these stories behind the songs that you've yet to be released? Like maybe a song that holds a special meaning for you?
I would probably say the next song that's coming out, which I can't tell you the title of, but that is
I can't disclose that.
I can't disclose that right now. But that is the most recent song that I wrote for the EP. I wrote that in the end of November, and that was right out of coming out of a breakup. Right. And, you know, a lot of these songs are about unrequited love and me not having a relationship. Well, you know, it happened, but, you know, it was short but sweet. But that song for me is like my anthem. Like I'm like the most excited from all the tracks for this next one. Nice. And like, I haven't sung it for you today because I'm keeping it under wraps. But I just feel like the sentiment of that song is like, we're in this relationship and we tried so hard to love each other as like kids that didn't know how, almost. And like for me, like as a first relationship, you know, it was like throwing pasta at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like it was like, you know, I was just trying to please him and like do anything to be loved, because for all these years that's all I've wanted. I've just wanted to, you know, feel wanted. So I was like, right, I'm gonna change things about me. I'm gonna try anything to make this stick. And obviously in that neglected my needs.
Absolutely.
That just, you know, ended in resentment and heartache and a whole bunch of other stuff. But at the end of the day, like the sentiment of the song and what the song ends on is, you know, we had a good summer. And I think looking at it at this bittersweet, you know, context of like, although things might have ended badly and we aren't in each other's lives right now, nothing can take away, you know, that period of time. We had a good summer and that was our time together, and, you know, we spent everything together, and that's, although feelings change and feelings are so fleeting, that is the fact. We had a good summer.
Someone else mentioned that on Indie Tea Talk. I can't think who it was that said, I took away quite a lot from that, saying, actually, this is really awful, but it doesn't take away the fact that we had the most lovely time. And I think that is actually a really nice way to look at it, and something that I'd not necessarily considered, that the two can be hand in hand, that you can feel both at the same time.
Yeah, they can
I really
coexist.
like that. Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in therapy the past few months, to be honest, like after this relationship.
Yeah.
And the one thing that like I've taken away from therapy is two things can be true.
Yeah.
Like totally. It's like, you know, I can want to be with you and want all these great things for us as a partner, but I can also want more for myself, and I can also want, you know, to not feel the way I feel in this relationship.
And although
those
they
two
contrast, you can feel them at exactly the same time.
Yeah. And that's what that song's kind of about for me.
Nice. Oh, I'm
and
excited
that you
to hear
can, you know, like you said, then there are good points to most bad things.
Yeah.
You know, so you can walk away from it and go, this experience, this time, you know, if you look at it on a macro, a micro instead of a macro, if you look at the individual aspects of it, you can be like, that were great, I loved that, we did this and we did that. Overall, the picture might not be great, but individually, the little bits can really shape you as a person as well, and shape your art and your creativity. So I think it's a great way to experience both parts. Yeah.
So you've been travelling to Manchester a lot.
Yeah.
What draws you to the scene in Manchester?
Well, I think I might be moving there in July, which I'm really excited for.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just feel like there's like Manchester's kind of where I recorded the full EP, and I've just kind of fallen in love with the city. Like, it's not London, but it's like the next thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not doing the full plunge. Like, I'm dipping the toe. So it's like, you know, we'll dip the toe in Manchester.
The northern London.
And we're keeping it northern, do you know what I mean? Which we've got to do. But
100%.
Yeah, 100%. But I just feel like Manchester's just like the next thing. And like, I've done 4 years in Leeds now, and I'm like, I just want to know what it's all about. And like, there seems to be like a much bigger pop scene, whereas there's a lot of jazz in Leeds, and like a lot
it's
of
quite jazzy
like metal almost as well. So I've been dipping my toe in Manchester. I've been doing a couple of gigs, and I'm just really excited. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be in me thrive in Manchester. I feel like I'm like, you know, post uni, I've got to grow up.
You're going to release your anthem, and you're going to be in your thrive.
Yeah, in a new city, you know, and it's going to be great. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
How exciting. So without revealing too much, I know you're already keeping your next single under wraps. What can people expect as a whole from your next EP? You've identified themes like relationships, self-worth. What do you hope people take away from it as well?
I think people will be traumatized, but I just think, I've never really thought about that, to be honest. I think coming away from that, I think, not to give away the title, but a lot of it's around the title. But I think a lot of the things that I've written about on this EP are focused on like growing up as a gay man almost. And like, I think rather where Complicated Art was, why is this happening to me? This EP is, why am I letting this happen to me in a different way? And it's just a bit more introspective, and it's mature, and, you know, it touches on like, although it's quite a short EP, it's 5 songs, it touches on, you know, like eating disorders and depression and all these deeper topics that I always thought, I'm not ready to talk about these things yet. But, you know,
but you've done it.
But my feelings feel safe in a song.
Yeah.
So that's where they'll have to live. And I think people are going to be surprised at how upbeat it is, but at the same time, how emotionally mature it is at the same time. And two things can be true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a beautiful way of putting it. That's great. It's time to jump into your second live session. Wow, I can't get my words out with session today. Your second live session.
That's quite a mouthful, actually.
It is.
Say that 5 times fast.
No, I'm not going to do it to myself. I'm just not doing it. So it's time to jump into your second live session. What are you going to be playing for us next? Would you like to give us a bit of an introduction to that song?
Yes, I would love to. So this next song is the lead single off of my EP. This came out, I don't know when it came out, because I don't know when you're going to be watching this, to be honest. But this song is called Look Who's Holding the Gun Now.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
for myself. Maybe I think less about you. Someday I'll wake up seeking peace, not approval. It's crucial you want me. My self-worth is frugal. You're paying me dust. You're bleeding me dry. Pessimistically perfect. You're pulling the trigger now. There's blood where the feelings linger. When you're so used to getting shot down. Well, look who's holding the gun now. I'll bury the way I feel for you. I'm in love with you. Oh, I'm in love with you. I'm showing my heart, and you're showing your teeth. You know I'm easy to leave. Oh, I'm lying on your sofa on borrowed time. I'll give you back your shirt. Just give me back my life. Cutting myself a shapes you like when you're so used to getting shot down. Well, look who's holding the gun now. I'll bury the way I feel for you. Am I pretty when you point and shoot? Oh, and I know that this is just skin deep, but I can take way more than a bullet in me. A fist in my mouth, a thumb in the wound. I'm in love with you. Sharing secrets, fleeting feelings. My pride, keep talking till the line starts screaming. You got shot down, look who's holding the gun now. Yeah, you know what to do. I'm jumping the gun, doing time for what's desiring you. Oh, I'm in love.
Do you feel it too?
I know you feel it too.
I want you to want me too.
I know you want
I'm
me.
in love with you.
So we're coming to the final section. We're nearly at the end. You might be glad to hear.
Oh.
Or not. Hopefully not.
No.
We just got some quick fire questions for you. So what's the weirdest gig experience you've ever had?
I had a guy who I don't know if I want to even say this. Basically, do I even want to say this?
Yes, you do.
Well, you've started now.
So let's just say someone turned up with a camera, but they were not the gig photographer,
Okay.
and were taking lots of photos of me at a gig,
Right.
and then later found out that person was on a certain list.
Oh,
Oh.
was that in Leeds?
Yeah.
I
No.
think
What? Go on, carry
someone
on.
else I know in Leeds might have had that experience.
I don't know if
with
they're on a
similar
list, but I just
gentleman.
know that they were a bit like,
On a radar of people.
The cameraman just looked and said, "It wasn't me."
oh,
Oh, George, that's brilliant.
my God.
Want me?
Not me. But yeah, so that was an interesting one.
Wow.
Wow, that
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, that's
That is
yeah, niche.
interesting.
niche and very befitting of the question. That is a weird gig experience.
But I did feel seen at the same time.
I imagine you
Although
did.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. I
felt
still
very loved.
seen. I did, honestly. I was like, it's what I've been after all these years. Honestly.
So you have to survive a zombie apocalypse with only the last person that texted you, how screwed are you?
Probs, major. Honestly. I was going to say,
Who's
I want
the
to
last-
check now.
Who was
Who's
it?
the last person? Do you know?
Oh my God, it was a guy. It was a guy I seen last night. It's that guy I kissed last night. Well, I don't know him that well, so TBC on that one.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how screwed I am.
I'll let you know next week.
Oh dear.
Scream.
What's the most ridiculous thing that's ever inspired a song?
Oh, these are thought-provoking. Most ridiculous thing. I don't know, like a bad dream, maybe. I don't know if that's ridiculous, but like I had a really bad dream about something and I was like, it's a song. But, yeah, I think dreams.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Probably dreams.
What's your go-to karaoke song after a few drinks?
Wow. I don't even, because
I love that every question we ask you do a gasp and you immediately have the exact story.
I went on a date a couple of months ago and we were in a karaoke bar and I did 4 numbers. Let's just say.
4.
And I didn't ream off me 4 numbers I did.
Go on.
So I did I'm Out of Love, Anastasia, Back to Black,
Nice.
Rehab,
Yep.
and Espresso. All on a date, by the way. And my date was like, look, and I was like, just go with it. I'm like, just let me have my minute. So there be 4.
Just let me have my minute of 4 songs. That's a
Let me have
long
my
minute.
15 minutes actually of karaoke.
Your date's like, fuck off, it's my turn.
He was just there with a camera.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so there be top 4.
Oh God. What's the most ridiculous piece of advice someone's given you about the music industry?
I haven't really had any advice, to be honest. I don't think anyone has any words of wisdom to give these days. So
I think anything would have been ridiculous nowadays because it's just so
just
screwed
post it. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's the advice I get.
Just
Just post it anyways. Be sound. So yeah,
brilliant. Well, that's kind of coming to the end now, unfortunately. So I think it's about time that we worked out how people can find your music.
Yes. So I am Aaron Dinnan on Instagram, TikTok, and then Aaron Dinnan obviously on all streaming platforms as well.
Perfect. So that's
a nice easy one.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
underscores, any of that.
No, I got there first.
Yeah.
You did. Nailed
Kitty, I struggle with that because there's loads of like Hello Kitty accounts or people that like Hello Kitty that then are Kitty something. So I always need an underscore.
Well, if you put Aaron Dinnan in on Google, there's like one photo of me and then the rest of it's dining table set because I think she's saying Aaron dining. So you know what? I'm actually quite easy. If you get the spelling right, then I'm all right to find amongst the tables. But
Amongst the tables.
Yeah.
Hopefully not amongst the photographs from that one dubious.
No,
photographer.
I don't want those photos on Google Images. Honestly, God.
Oh, brilliant. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in today. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. And that kind of wraps up another episode of Indie Tea Talk. So a big thank you to yourself
Thank you.
and your lovely assemblement that's sat there watching you.
My audience.
Yes. And a big thank you to everybody else that's tuned in today. Remember that you can follow Aaron Dinning on Instagram and TikTok and all streaming platforms with just at Aaron Dinning, which is nice and easy. You can follow us at Instagram on at IndieTeaTalk _ because we didn't get there early enough. And subscribe to us on YouTube for all the latest content and information. And until next time, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye now.